Hello, my name is Steph, and today we'll be going over hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics it's a fun module, if you like math. Yeah, so here it is.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
First let me say some stuff about the module, is that 1, these count when counting symbols, and so do these. 2, the top row always has 3 symbols, the middle one always has 4, and the bottom one always has 5. And there's always going to be a number print here, here, and here. These buttons move the little pin down here to where you want them. And this is the submit button up here. So what we do, is we write down each symbol. I forgot the names of all of them, so I'll just be peeking back and forth. Okay, so that is bone, those are scales and scales. We have bone, I believe horn, scales, and cowhead. Yep. Cowhead. And then we have scales, horn, bone, and man. On the left side we have scales and cowhead, and on the right we have scales and horn. Alright. Oh, I forgot to write the numbers. So we have 7, 13, and then 16. Right, so what we do from here is we find out the value of each one of these symbols. Now, the way we do this is basically by logical deduction. One thing to keep in mind is that the first character of the first row, so in this case, bone, it's always going to have the value of 1. And I should mention that each symbol has a different value from 1 to 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as there are 5 symbols present. So, keeping this in mind, this just turns into a giant math equation. 1 plus scales, 1 plus horn, scales, cowhead, and that equals 13. And this equals 16. Now, because it's a math equation, we want to figure out each one of the values. Since we know bone is 1, we can just subtract that on both sides. So we subtract 1 from this side and 1 from this side to get 6. 1 from this side and 1 from this side to get 12. And 1 from this side to get 16, well, 15. Okay. Now then, what we do from here is we figure out the possible values for each one of the symbols. So, I would suggest it's best to go up to solve the first row first. So, we have 2 scales equals 6, which, if we turn this back into a math equation, that's just 2x equals 6. You divide both sides by 2, and then you get x equals 3, which leaves us with the final, first, I actually forgot to write down the thing, so scales, horn, man, cowhead. So, we find out that scales equals 3. So we can just write this down. Now, keeping that in mind, we can replace all the scales with the number 3, and then subtract them from the equation. So we subtract 3 from this side, and that gives us 9 over here. And we subtract 3 from this side, and that gives us 12 over here. Now, with this, we have either values of 4 and 5 for both things, since 4 plus 5 equals 9, and there's no other dual combination that will equal 9. So this is sort of just a placeholder for now. Now, along with this, we have the bottom equation, which is horn. Oops, my bad. Wait, no, I'm correct. Sorry. Now we have the bottom equation, where horn plus man equals 12. And again, like before, we plug in, we replace horns with the two possible values. So, we need to take the hypothetical situation of horns. Let's see. So I'll just put horn and cow. So we need to take the hypothetical situation of each value. So let's say we have the horn equals 4. So if horn were to equal 4, and these two being horn, then we have 8 plus man equals 12. Now, we know that 8 minus 12 is 4, meaning that man would give us 4. But that violates the rule where all symbols have to be unique. So using the process of elimination, we can deduce that horn equals 5, which then leads to cow equaling 4. And man equaling 2. Man, speaking so hard when it's like 1 at night. Horn is 5. Man is 2. And cowhead is 4. Good, now we found out their values. So what? Well, we take the values that are on the side, so in this case scales and cowheads, and then we look at the lock position for that side. In case you don't know, this is Anubis and this is Horus. Egypt mythology, it's good. So for Anubis' side, we have scales and cowhead. Scales is 3 and cowhead is 4. So we have the values 3 and 4. So for Anubis' side, we have to put the pin in the middle. Okay, for Horus' side, we have scales and horn. So scales and horn, that's 3 and 5. So we put Horus' right. And we're not done yet. So what we do from here is we take all of these symbols appear in this list. We take the first one out of the list, and then we're going to add up the appearances of it and multiply it by the value. So, do we have male? Yes, we do. That happens to be the first one. So, male has the value of 2, and we're going to multiply that against all its appearances. So, male appears here, it appears here. So, we have 2 times 2, and that equals 4. We then take the product of what we just did, and we take the digital root. So digital root of 4 is 4, and we press the submit button when the last digit of this countdown timer is 4. And you know you got it right when this sinks in, and you start and you enter the 10-second long solve animation.
This was exactly the way, right now, the thing was meant to happen.
Let's do a second example.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Alright, this one's stupid, but let's do it. So, we have horn, I'm just going to call that sack, and sack equals 7. We have male, 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 horn equals 13, and horn male male equal 15. Oh god, I'm gonna have to multiply all those males. And our luck position is sack, and I have no clue what this one is. Sack and male. We have sack and I. Oops. Oh, I closed. No, I didn't. What's the name of it? Lasso. That's. Yeah, I guess. So, like before, we start, since horn, it's the first one, so its value is 1. So you have 1, 1, 1. And now, we remove 1 from both sides. So, this becomes 6, this becomes 12, and this becomes 14. Oh, this one's actually pretty simple. Okay, so we have the same situation as before, where we have 2x equals 6, so we have sac equals 3. So, let me write down the things again. So, male, eye, horn, lion, and sac. And if there's only 4 like symbols present, the 5th one is going to be up here. But if you can't find one, it's going to be up here for the next value. So we have the horn, which is equal to 1. Then we have the sac, since there's 2 sacs which equal 6, they equal 3. Now we have 3 males equal 12, which is just 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3, we get x equals 4, so male equals 4. Oh, that's going to be horrendous. Okay. And then we have the final equation of male, I, male, male. So, since these are all 4, and added up they equal 12, we can subtract 12 on both sides. So, we have the final value of I equals 2, and since line was never present, and it's going to be 1 left, it's going to be a 5. Now then, let's see. Sac and male, that is going to be 3 and 4. 3 and 4 for Anubis is going to be center. And sac and I. So that's going to be 2 and 3, which is also center. Now then, we go down the list and find the first one that's here, which is male, and male is present here. So, with male, we count the male appearances on the modulo in total. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we multiply that against its value. So 8 times the value of male, which is 4, that equals 32. We then take the digit root of that, which is 5, since 3 plus 2 is 5, and we submit it on that time.
This was exactly the way, right now, the thing was meant to happen.
And that is hieroglyphics. I hope you learned it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and get a job.